There you go. There you go. Perfect. 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 Yeah. Okay. Here's the plan. I want to tell you why this is actually a very strong proposition. Why this formulation of increasing the chance and not like, oh, how can we build a product, a successful product for sure. Why this is the strongest proposition, I think. And then I'm going to just very quickly talk about what I've been through, what I've done, just to increase the chance that you take everything I say on the topic seriously. And then I'm going to give one example with a product that we recently built, and it's still in progress. So I think of product people, product teams as bands. And here's Metallica with 100% hit rate. At least one album, which is still extremely difficult to achieve. Like I consider this impossible. Then Imagine Dragons, they have like 10-20% hit rate, and then we go down to the more common people, one-hit wonders. And then there were people who are doing it for hobby. I think if you're really professional, if that's what you do, if you produce songs for a living, you have to hit something like this. So, and if you hit something like this, you're a top band, and it's realistic, because again, Metallica, forget it. And I like to think that there's a line here between like pure chance, like you're not influencing at all what's happening, and something that you're doing deliberately to increase your chance of outputting hits or successful products or successful songs. Okay, so quickly, overview of my career. I started early. I was from this generation where there was not much to consume, but there was a lot to build. Some people started building hardware. I started building software. So I was doing programming till, I don't know, do the math. And in the beginning, these first 20-ish years, they were mostly failures. Like I was just learning from failures. We just had to try everything on our own and do a lot of mistakes. So I've done my fair share. And then came some successes. Some successes, again, I say. I consider my kind of success rate to be somewhere there, between 10 and 20%. So, okay, 2001, it was a huge milestone because I went to Vienna, and absolutely accidentally, I joined an industry, which is, if you haven't guessed, an online gambling industry. And these are most of the products that I kind of designed, and most of them I also developed. This was the first successful one, by the way. This thing here. It's a screen recording from 2001. Anyway, and this is the last one here. This thing that's moving is the last one, 2014, I think. Yeah. So an industry which is extremely competitive, very, very established. These guys, they know what they're doing. I just knew more or less how to create gamified experiences. And this turned out to be successful because the industry being so mature, it was very transactional. So we kind of shifted it towards entertainment. And this was the reason for the success of these things. This one got banned 2016 or 2018 in Germany for being too addictive, this thing. And I said, okay, that's it. I am not doing this anymore. Probably I'm doing something right, but also something wrong. I decided to switch industries completely. And then like the next thing, which was a success, I mean, again, a lot of failures in between, was the redesign of UNFCCC's carbon offset platform. So this is another thing which I'm very proud of. And I'm really proud because I joined them when they didn't have money, they didn't have a product. They were not the Bulgarian unicorn. This thing, another thing, I got very good feedback recently on another talk, and then I suddenly became proud of it. Okay, and again, accidentally, I did 4 projects for companies belonging to Thomson Reuters. Anyway, so to the point of the talk, this is the map, I think, what increases the chance of creating successful products. You need some kind of theory, some kind of understanding of like what you're doing, and you need some things which are always specific for the product that you're working. So these models, I consider them kind of a distilled experience, and they also turned into a intuitive understanding of what I'm doing. Yeah, 2 of them I published on thepilotproduct.com, and the third one, which is very interesting, why people buy news products is still not shared. The thing which is very interesting about this one is that it proposes that you're not building just one product, but you're building 3 types of products depending on where you are in the adoption curve or in the product lifecycle. And the first product you're building is pilot product, and actually that's what I'm going to talk about. These 3 types of products, pilot and mainstream product and mature product, they're really very different. They have different targets, they have different focuses on their feature sets, and they have also different measures of what means a successful product. So I'm going to give you an example of these things, of these very specific things, using this project as an example. It's a gamified experience for kids. And so one of the factors for increasing the success chance is to have a market opportunity which is kind of real. This project, by the way, was led by Vesela Gercheva, who is the founder of Muzejko, if anyone knows it. The Bulgarians at least will. So she knows the market, she knows the market opportunity, and that's basically it. Like, there are not just the museum staff, but the municipality, they want people to go to the museum. Parents also want their kids to go to the museum. But kids have absolutely no reasons to go to the museum because they're glued to their phones. Because people like me created some addictive products before that. Anyway, and we kind of changed this. We gave them a reason, so that's what the product does. We gave them a reason to use their phones, and go in the museum. And this was the concept of Vesela, by the way. She wanted to connect the digital world with the physical world. And I was like, oh my God, that's just absolutely perfect for me, that I just have to be a part of this. Managed to do is we made them look at other artifacts, not just the ones which are included in the game. Now get that. Oh, that's Vesela. That's what to show. So that's this project is her fault. The next factor, which is extremely important to increase the chance of outputting a successful product, is a resonating concept. And the thing is, people think that this is a creative work, but well, not exactly, because it's what I've seen successful people do. They apply a pattern which is proven to work in another context, and that's kind of the safe bet. So we thought, okay, because archaeology, what is the most one of the most engaging patterns that we know of, and of course Indiana Jones, and there's especially this combination between action, outdoor action, and indoor study or thinking or whatever, academic activity and things like that. So we had this absolutely bombastic, very, very ambitious concept. So there was a story in which kind of a ghost essence of the artifact separates from their physical representation, and it goes and just lingers in parks. And we send the kids with their phones in an AR experience like Pokemon Go to hunt for these ghosts or fragments. They collect them here, and their next quest is to go back to the museum and return them. And for that, of course, they have to find the physical artifact. And so this was all very good. There were a lot of ambitious sides of this thing, but there's just one problem. It's a problem, but I consider this to be, again, a factor which increases the chance of success, because you're probably familiar that Zuckerberg spent 46 billion on the metaverse project. Money is definitely not guaranteed of success. And what this thing does, the way this thing increases the chance of success, is that it forces you to think, okay, how is this thing is going to be successful? Like, it's not like about the product that you want to build with the cool technology that you know, but it's more like answering a way more fundamental question. Also, another thing, it makes you hungry. If we don't have money, but we have the chance of making something successful, we just perform better. And one part of this is that we get more creative. So we do more with less. So this was actually, I was very happy. And then we revised the concept. The outdoor experience just went out. I mean, yeah. And there was no 3D because there was no money for it, no AR, basically no fancy tech. Yeah, but what we kept from the concept was this thing, this combination between action and thinking, learning, reading, and we decided to do everything indoor. Yeah, and we just spent a lot of, let's say, time and thinking on every detail. Okay, so the next factor which increases chance of success, and I know this, like at some point I thought that I was like so great that I don't need to test anything. I'll just output something because it just looks cool. It's like one of the fanciest products that I ever designed. They were the biggest failures. So so this was a very hard learned lesson. Test everything. And this thing, by the way, we test on paper. We printed something. And what we had to establish was this thing. Is it really interesting without any story to look for an artifact in a museum? And I don't know if you have been to the ancient Serdica, but there's this thing, there's this brick. And we just told the kids that there are cat prints on one of the ancient bricks. And yeah, we were really astonished to find that kids don't need some special reasons, to just go do something very simple. They're very happy to do that, to find something. So another point about the testing. So basically, this screen, the Find Me in the Museum screen, became the central screen. There are at least, I think, 15 other screens in this app, but this was one of the most important ones. So five iterations, 5 major versions, all of them with testing. Some of them were prints, some of them were on as screenshots on a phone. So we tried to make these artifacts interesting for them, and we tried pictures. The problem with picture is it's as if you found it already. Like you see it on a picture, it's too literal, so there's no intrigue. Why look for it? Just the drive is way lower. We tried fragments, we tried distinct silhouettes, not enough information. And we reached actually later to this point. We got an artist to do drawings of these, and one of the things that we realized was it kind of triggered some hunter-gatherer instincts and cognitive pathways, because if you know cave drawings, like that's what people were doing. They were drawing animals to explain others, like how this thing looks like. Probably kids even. Like, see, this is the thing we're hunting. These are its characteristics. By the way, this drawing, if you see the actual object, the proportions are all wrong, but they are the ones that you need to emphasize in order to recognize the object. So this became really kind of our strongest proposition. Another thing also that we found out, because there was a lot of trial and error on like what needs to be on this screen, and this combination between the map and the picture and the drawing of the object, the artifact, proved to be the winning one, exactly again because of these ancient cognitive pathways. Because what you do when you hunt, you have to acquire the target, you have to recognize it. Okay, this is the animal, it's not some other animal, otherwise you're going to eat suboptimal things. And then pathfinding. So you have to get your way around the environment. And this just proved to work. Another thing, by the way, point, there's a difference between kids we discovered and adults. Adults, their treasure hunt follows the model of Da Vinci Code. They read some stuff, they read some text clues, and okay, they're solving some puzzles. We kind of flipped it. We did something that we called reverse treasure hunt, like for kids, because kids, they didn't watch Da Vinci Code. They're not conditioned to this. So you have to rely on stuff which are innate, which are more primal. And yeah, that's what we found out. And also, they really, really like to do the action first and the reading later, the thinking later. Like policemen. Like, did they do the like shoot first and ask questions later? Kind of same thing. It works because that's what people did for millions of years, apparently. So anyway, okay, very quickly, one of the things that we found out here, because we didn't want to make them read in the beginning, we had to develop some visual cues like what to do. And this is one of the first screens, the My Collection, the screen that you start from. And we did this dotted line and these animation that prompts them to click there. And also the whole thing was styled so it looks like placeholders of a sticker album. So, and that's, by the way, usability or user experience. I have to piggyback on some existing cognitive models. I'm so happy that at least I'm talking to one person in the audience. That is like super cool, a fellow designer. So, okay. So to make it visually final, by the way, Kalina is the original artist. Without her, this would not be a compelling product for kids at all, or for anyone. Then there was Martina who did the backgrounds and some other additional stuff, and then kind of had to put it all together. And also one of the things that Kalina solved was the style of the UI. For example, you might see at least the designers from you that it piggybacks on this style. And another thing which is a part of the testing, once you have the skeleton of the product, this again increases the success chance dramatically. Once you have the skeleton of the product, which follows a resonating concept, which you have proven, by the way, to work, then you can start asking them stuff. So these 4 things, they came from the kids. So we got really amazing feedback. And another thing, like to give it in their hands, so the hands of the users, kind of a half finished product. And also just the basics are there, and watching them hack it gives you a perfect indication of what you need to build next. And that was amazing. Anyway, so here comes the definition of what a successful product means. That doesn't mean that the product makes money or it's a mainstream product or something like that. It just means that it's interesting enough so they start using it at all, because there are a lot of products that are not interesting for users to use. Google CEO, by the way, said that this is the skill, making products interesting for users to use. Engaging enough so they do engage with it, so you get a lot of usage data, a lot of feedback, and then you know what to do to build the mainstream product, to jump from the early adopters to the majority. That's the success criteria for pilot products. And kind of the best for last. This is by far the most important factor for increasing the chance of building a successful product, and that's to have a very well-rounded and functional, effective team. Because even if you don't know how to do stuff, if you don't understand something, there's going to be someone who is going to back you up. And yeah, like I've tried, by the way, playing the one-man army, because okay, I'm a developer, I'm also a designer, I can build everything on my own. That failed spectacularly on a couple of occasions. So every time I did something which I consider a success, it was always in a team, always, and just I played my part. That's all. So these are the people that are responsible for meeting these criteria, pretty much. Okay, so, and this is the last slide. Wait, but not the last point. So this is the coolest feedback we got from kids, by the way, that, yeah. Okay, and the thing is, we were left wondering, like, what do they mean? Like, do they mean like these cool artifacts that they found in the museums that they didn't know they existed, or they meant the app? You know, I have no idea, but I hope it's both. So I hope we show them some exciting world with this thing, and we can also jump into making it a more mainstream product, hopefully. Okay, now you can. So yeah, one question though.
I have a question. Yes. Who is more demanding between gambling addicts and kids in terms of UX?
Wow. Definitely gambling addicts. Yes, yeah, because I mean, kids if you get them early enough, they don't have a lot of preconceptions, requirements. They're not used to some experience that spoiled them in a way, that were like so catered, so devilishly optimized to get certain response from them. And the gambling industry is like really like so old, it's so mature. Like honestly, yeah, definitely by far. So.
Thank you.